Ooh, need a secretary. Let's see. Okay. Rizal, can I nominate you to be secretary today?
Yes, sir.
All right, fantastic. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It's 12 o'clock now. So, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
How's everyone doing?
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so looking in Jogja, we have a few more people there. Is Kanu there?
Yeah, Hannah is here.
Oh, bring him in the film. Yeah, let's take a look at our newest guy. Hey, everyone, this is Kanu. Kanu is undergoing trials right now for online guest support. You see him? Then say what's up. Kanu, this is the rest of the company. Welcome in. He's like, yeah. Okay, wait. Let me bring. Actually, I can't see this. Can't see what the screen is. Okay, that's the Jogja team. And Jogja, this is the Bali team. Hi, Yuan. Yuan, you're at Kakul. Yeah. Okay. Where's Rafik? Oh, all right. Is Rafik there with you, Yuan?
Still driving, sir.
You're still driving? Okay. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, Bayu will be my co-host today of the All Hands, of our attempt to get everyone more leadership experience. So, let's go ahead and take a look into the stats, see where we are. July is almost over. I think tomorrow is our last day of July, and then after that, we'll begin Is it 31st?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Okay. So this week we'll be beginning in August. We already have the August theme loaded up and ready. The revenue target is 400, and the stretch target is 450. It's the same theme as July. We're looking to get peak bookings and peak revenue. So let me go into the sales projection analysis first, because that's part of my SLA on revenue management to the rest of the company. So what we have now is an evolutionary, this is a roadmap showing where each stage of the projections are lying. I've been having discussions with a lot of people in the company, with I believe with Nungli, also with Alvin, and with HR. And what we've realized is that it's really important to actually have roadmaps. Does anyone know why a roadmap is important? Nobody. All right. Does anyone want to guess why a roadmap is important?
So we know where we're going to.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead and speak up. You have the floor.
Okay, so what happened when we know where we're going?
Yes. Okay. Shows what we've been doing and where we're going. Thank you, Ara, for that contribution. So a roadmap allows us to track our pivots and allows us to actually evolve innovatively as a company. Without a roadmap, essentially each time we make a change, not everybody knows what the change has been, why it's been made, and what is the new change. So the sales projection is actually a very challenging problem, we all know, because it's hard to create the right estimations, and it's also difficult to see what we're actually doing. So I've roadmapped it all the way from August to May, when we first started thinking about seriously about how we make projections. Okay, so we're on our fourth iteration now. Each month we've changed a little bit. This month, what are we doing differently? We're starting with the same thing. So we've kept the initial start points and the weekly sales. We're using a chi-square model, which essentially gives us a expectation we need to make more revenue in the first week of the month. And we also started the third week of the previous month. We started looking at August revenue back in July. And from now on, we're also going to look forward. A lot of the times when we looked at our stats, we always look back at 6 months previous revenue. But that doesn't really actually help us in terms of where we're going. That only shows us where we've been. So from now forward, we will always look at revenue looking 3 months ahead. On our operational executions, we're still looking at focusing on the top revenue producing properties, optimizing new launches, optimizing suboptimal revenue conversions for reservation rehab. Oh, here's a new. What the feedback's not going. Hello? Hello?
Oh, what is the song?
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
So you're back.
Turn it off now. Okay, that should work better now. Okay, and minimal booking pace, SLA agreements, and base starting revenue. Let's take a look at how we made the projection for August. Okay, So this is what our revenue graph looks like year to year. The light blue one was back in 2016. The slightly darker one is in 2017. The slightly darker one after that is 2018. And the most recent one is 2019, the current year. So we basically have taken a look at this graph and what is our growth vision. In 2016, we grew 52% to 2017 in terms of the top line revenue growth. In 2017, we grew 18.7%. This year, I believe we can target 33%, which is somewhere in the middle between the lower and the upper boundaries. The head count is at 26. I think it's actually slightly higher now. And we do a payroll of 230 million at the moment. So I've set 2 boundary points. One is at the lower bound of the growth, which we want to be 33%. That sets a target of 400,000. And then the stretch target is if we can grow as much as we did in the very first year, then that sets a target of 450,000. All right, so that's step 1. Step 2, let's take a look at where we are. So the good news is we've already achieved our revenue target for July, as everyone knows, and we're starting off at a really good point for August. August, we're already beginning at 297. So if you guys remember where we began the beginning of this month, which was, does anyone remember what number we began the beginning of this month with? 250, Chandra. Okay, very good. 250, and in that time, we've gotten almost to 120 by the end of the month. So if we can expect to hit the same weekly sales in August, which we did in July, we should be able to hit the target of 400 because we're almost beginning at the same starting point. All right, let's take a look at the rest of it. I don't know what the weekly sales are right now because we're not in August, but after we begin August, we can see what the weekly sales have begun. The gap between the target and the starting is 105. That gap will be shortened by tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get sales for August 2 as well. So this gap should actually be a little bit lower before we begin August. Okay, so again, we're looking to actually get most of the revenue in the first and second week, and then it will trail off in the third and fourth weeks. But the good news is that actually, this is just a quick show for what we did in July. The revenue for July in the overall company was able to kind of keep up, actually. It didn't diminish exponentially. It sort of diminished a little bit, but more like a linear diminishment than chi-square. So we might actually use a different model for this particular month. It might not actually have exponential decay, but we'll keep chi-square for now since that's been working, and that got us to our revenue projections. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. What's the gap between the target and the destination in August? 105. So that's what we're looking to do. Okay, let's go back up to the all hands again. And yes, sir.
Since we are talking the projection, I also want to add one more method.
Okay.
So I've been trying the Tableau method, basically revenue analytics. I'm trying to understand how Tableau do the calculation. But if you can open Tableau.
Yes, I can. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
you're gonna show that. Okay.
That's
revenue predictions. Yeah?
Yes.
All right. So there's a really cool feature on Tableau that takes into account of all our traditional booking history. Right. It looks at what we've been doing, and it looks like the trends of what we've been able to do, and it forecasts what we can do into the future. It's actually really exciting, and this is the first time we're going to show everyone this. We don't know what the accuracy is, but I think this particular month
today
we got it right.
99.8.
Okay, so this graph did it get the previous months in May and
No, I screenshot it.
Okay. All right, you guys ready to see this? This is a new innovation. So this is automatically calculated from Tableau looking at our data. So what we see here is essentially the accumulation. The dark blue shows where we've been historically, and the light blue shows where we're going. So, for example, this particular month is July 2019, and it is almost spot on, actually, in the prediction. Now, this is really weird because I don't know how it actually came up with this particular model, but this model is actually fairly accurate today. We are at, we're going to get to around 370. So this box and whisker shows essentially the I guess the predictor capability. The middle part represents, that is the highest, that's the, I guess the median bound, and the lower part, yeah, median confidence interval. So the median part shows high confidence, the higher part shows like essentially less likely, I guess, and the bottom part shows something that's less likely. But anyway, what this means is perhaps an innovation that can get us automatic revenue projections for everybody who works on market building or who works on other chapters. So you can just scale this for the type of property that you're looking for, and it will give you a revenue projection model based on, I don't know, some stuff that we don't really know how it works yet. So anyhow, this is a new graph. Okay, all right, cool. Let's keep on going. So,
I have a question.
yes, to the lead.
Okay, Bayu showed this to me a while ago, and I think I remember the number was 360. So that actually the projections do change over time as the data comes in.
Yes.
I think it was
Yeah.
360,
Yes, it's a live
right?
projection.
Okay.
So the projection is actually shifting based on new data and new stuff. I think that's actually pretty cool
Yeah.
because effectively that's what it should be doing. It should be iterating. Okay, let's take a look at, let's see. Oh, we have a new update from the content team. Does anybody want to present this? On new business. Actually, let's go over old business first, and then we'll go to new business. Everybody, please sign your contracts. If you have not signed your contract, then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, then you're a volunteer here. So please sign your contracts if you want to be a real employee here. Tomorrow's the last day, so please get it done. Yeah? All right, there's the SLA discussion video that we had at the beginning of the month. There's the okay. Who has not gotten their June and July bonuses yet? Okay, that's everyone then, right? Okay, well, congratulations. We decided to pay out the June and July bonus. This is what essentially was stated before, so we did all get there. I'd like to thank everybody for pulling together this month. I think we saw a lot of effort being focused on reservations, conversions, and saw a lot of good work happen from everyone here. So thank you very much for getting that done. I don't know if we're going to hit our stretch target, but if we hit our stretch target, then there's another bonus there. Most likely, I think our August stretch target is really within means. But anyway, moving on. Gigi, so using Jojonomic as a reimbursement portal for the company level starting on July. This month, if you're submitting your reimbursements, please get Jojonomic. Gigi's the go-to guy who's leading that project. We're releasing this at company level now. Okay? All right, next item. Oh, yeah, the bounties. Okay, so the bounties are still the same. There's a $3 million prize for simplifying the phone calls from guests. You can put together how many number of people you want in that, and you just divide the prize evenly. There's $1.5 million for simulation programs for trial evaluations. I have essentially a sample simulation here based on the zoos for reservations. There's a $1 million prize now. Now this one's a little bit different. So I've added a prize to quiz night. So we need a new type of quiz night. We need a quiz night where we're actually testing on SLA knowledge, testing on the reservation case studies in the zoo, testing on company core values, and testing on general startup knowledge. So no more quizzes based on like what's the Wi-Fi password of this. We don't think that that's actually going to help us understand more about how to be good hosts, right? So it's more on problem-solving knowledge, more on competency level knowledge and competency level problem thinking. So there's a new prize for organizing that. Maybe if any traditional organizer would like to organize that. And the prize for the winner still remained the same. So it's a $2 million prize, $1.5 million to the first team, and $500,000 for the second team that wins that quiz. There's a $3 million prize for recruitment of a senior accountant before September 5th. If you are able to find or refer a friend to work here, then there's a $3 million referral bonus for that. And there's a $5 million prize now for self-service owner dashboard. So we want it to be where owners don't have to ask us any questions anymore about any of their payments, about anything, so that the market builders can work full speed, the hosts can work full speed, the community managers and everybody on our support doesn't need to answer an owner question. They can just open up a dashboard, look on the dashboard, see what they're looking for without having to always ask us about ETAs, payments, all these things. Okay? So these are essentially the prizes that we put out. If you're looking to organize a prize and also advance your career, these are projects, and we're looking for people to take on these projects. Cool? Everyone get it? Okay. All right, let's go into the next part, observations and improvements. This is working really well. There's been a lot of activity on the observation improvements. I think we have had more than 50. I haven't counted, but has anybody counted how many observations and improvements we had this month? Does anyone believe it's under 50? Okay, great. So this part is good because once we get these things out, we're hopefully going to create evergreen solutions, one solution, so that we don't have to like revisit these problems over and over again. So let's see. This is a rhino. We've had another rhino case happen. Yes. What's so funny about it? Okay. Well, this is a black rhino now. So Black Rhino is essentially the guest has broken another table. God, wow, it's like a bull in a china shop there. All right, so there's another table worth 35 million, and Yvonne is working on the guest part to get the payment. The guest snuck out. Alan is contacting Airbnb, and we're contacting the owner to change the table so that they're not using such fragile furniture there anymore. Okay, thank you very much. So in this particular case, let's write the solution down here, and then we'll know how to address a Black Rhino. So a Black Rhino is a case where the guest has evaded payment and they are not looking to pay. All right, we got another, I've decided to call this a Tasmanian devil. This is an angry owner who doesn't seem to have any type of reason, right, to be angry. So the Alchemist owner has essentially hostaged us and wanted to cancel a guest that was coming in to their property. They wanted full payment for a cancellation, and we essentially had to pay them off in order to avoid this situation happening. This is a very complex case, and I think this needs to be addressed by some sort of contract with the owner to prevent these types of hostage situations from happening, or we need to dissolve out of this partnership so that we don't have this type of assault coming in from unruly partners. Let's go into the next one. There's a Swiper the Fox. This one's coming from Evan. So this is where we expect the guest is a carder. A carder is somebody who uses somebody else's credit card to get payment for their stay. Basically, they are hacking the system. This case already happened at NH Residence, and they got canceled after they stayed. They did another booking at Village Antique. The booking was essentially canceled by Airbnb.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in this particular case, thank you for bringing this up, Yvonne. We also need to think of what perhaps the solution is. I told Yvonne mistakenly to actually take the guest booking. This didn't result in any loss, but it resulted in one of our owners that were waiting for a guest that didn't actually show up. So there is consequences to policies made on these types of cases. Let's think of a solution to deal with this so that when this happens or when we see that this is happening, we can then do something better. So this way, this mistake wasn't made. Next one is Yvonne on automated review management. Oh, okay, this is a good discussion topic. So Yvonne asked me that about the budget for the trial. It's $8 in activation. In this particular case, just go ahead and spend $8, right? And getting reviews automated is totally worth it. So I don't think we need to. This is definitely under. I think this is petty cash. So if you do see this happen again, then just reimburse it through petty cash. Get it purchased. I would rather this move more quickly than slowly on this particular case. All right, we have a rabbit. Rabbit happened with Dominic. Oh, okay, this is a repeat now. So we've seen a rabbit happen again. So the guest booked at Tamui Bu, but then,
I think we have to
oh, this is last week. Oh, okay, yeah, July 21st. Okay, all right, cool. All right, good. Thank you for the update, and we will close this and move on to the next item topic at all hands. Okay, and SLAs. Oh, right, I forgot to mention this. I just remembered, we forgot to go up the stack. So, on new business, we're going to have an assessment of the SLAs and the reliability of the SLAs tomorrow. So, I'd like everybody to get together for that. What it will be each chapter will discuss about how the SLA is performing, clients with servers, servers with clients, and we will see what is it about the SLAs that are working, what is it about the SLAs that are not working, and then go into a roadmap about what we need to do for the next sequence of SLAs. There's a reservation case study here in the zoo. I think everybody already is aware that we're building it. Let's see if there's anything new happening in the zoo. Also, in the meantime, Content has a brand avatar that they'd like to talk about, I guess. Viva? No? Yes. Okay, over to Bayou then. What is the avatar and what's great about it? Like,
Okay, so basically, from contenting, we are discussing about this brand personality because what we observe is actually we are talking as different people, not talking as Bukit Vista. So sometimes we are talking casual, sometimes we are talking very formal, but we actually come up with some questions. What the Bukit Vista personality is actually like. So we don't want to dictate. So basically, we ask question. We want everyone here to contribute and. what do you call it? Express your idea about how a Bukit Vista person should talk to anyone outside the company. This not only apply to reservation or host, but also for market builders or anyone talking to other party in outside the company. So this is what we come up so far. It's not fixed yet, but we want everyone here to take a look at this and try to apply it for yourself. If you have any new ideas, you can also just put your ideas. But basically, this is what the personality that we come up so far. So and we also want to make this official. Basically, in a company level, we will speak in this language. Like we should be casual or formal, and then should we helpful or should be transactional? That's the kind of choice that we need to make now. There's a lot of bookings coming in. There's a lot of business, but do we forget about helpfulness and hospitality, or we keep that as our core value? So that is the question here. So I think the next step would be I invite everyone to read this document and also apply it to your work when making reports, making reservation, answering to the guests, talking to owner, talking to guests in person. Let's try to apply this. We have some table that actually we stuck. The content team is stuck with the table below table.
Mm-hmm.
So another one.
This one,
yeah, this one.
Okay.
So we have some simple metric, basically how we greet people, how we apologize, how we give information, how we give signature, and how we tell jokes and icebreaker. So that's the example that we content team actually stopped already. So I want everyone to contribute in this, and we will create something that is really strong about Bukit Vista. So that's the update about the avatar. And if you are confused how to apply that to your conversation or why it's so different from what I used to do, you can just ping anyone in the content team and talk about that. This is brought out by the some answer that is really not Bukit Vista and really not hospitable on Instagram or some platform, and we don't want that to be repeated. Or if that to be repeated, then we agree to always do that in the future. So that's about the avatar and brand personality.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much, buddy. So cool. Please contribute. Your voice defines the voice of the company. So speak up. Perfect. Let's keep on going. So, all right. Let's see if we have any new animals this month. We got ostrich, right? Or did we talk about the ostrich already? Anybody know what an ostrich is? Okay. An ostrich. This I think we found on the last reservation sync up. So the reservation team didn't answer the key points and just hides the facts of the problem. The solution is that we inform them that there's an issue happening. The long way is we check where the guest is going to get the information and check again if it's still happening. If you're not sure, you can tell the truth to the guest so we can check it later with the on-site staff. All right, so let's open up the card, I guess, and see what happened here. Ooh. All right, what is the case of the ostrich and how did it happen? So an ostrich is basically avoiding the question. The guest has asked us a question. We answer everything except the specific question. Remember, there's no names or anything here involved, but it's just to illustrate this. Okay, where did this happen? Okay, so this is something about staying in a villa. The exact location can give us a better understanding of the distance. Also, I noticed some of the reviews mentioned broken AC, poor water pressure, spotty Wi-Fi. Have these things been fixed? Okay, so then the answer has been everything here, but except about the complaints about the AC, water pressure, and Wi-Fi, right? And then no further response. Okay, so the key to remember here is that they're asking those questions for a reason, and so we don't need to necessarily avoid the answer. We can just say, hey, look, we don't actually know what's happening, but I can ask, and it will take maybe a few days to get back to you. So we can just inform them that there is no issue happening recently or whatnot if you want to just get that in. But the long way is we check where the guest got the information and check again if it's still happening. Just be as truthful as possible, because I think when we avoid it, that creates more questions, and more questions creates more uncertainty. So it's okay to just be transparent in this particular case and avoid the ostrich. All right, this is a turtle. So a turtle is, what do you do if you get an alteration to change the date, but the dates don't move on Toki after the guest accepts the change date, and the block is still on the old reservation? I think we're still trying to figure out why turtles happen. Okay, so these are the two new items on the zoos. Cool? Yeah? All right, let's keep on moving. All right, so moving on. Okay, squad 4 and workflow SLAs we'll discuss in detail tomorrow. Project showcase. Oh, right. Okay, so Kanu is new here doing trials in Jogja. If you have something from online guest support or market building that you'd like him to do work on, please put it here, and Kanu can get some on-the-job experience now during his trials. Role assignment table. Okay, so these are pretty much unchanged. Do I need to read these, or essentially are there any changes to them? Okay, all right, let's skip it. So the only big change is Squad 4 is now, Squad 3 has rolled into Squad 4 now, and Squad 4 profile coverage. No? Yes? Okay. So let's go ahead and skip the profile coverage then, and let's take a look at the stats. Okay, so looking forward on the, oh wait, actually let me bring Bayu up. Bayu, I'll go and allow for somebody else to read the stats this week. Go ahead and kick it off for us, Bayu. Next 3 lines. It's defaulted at Bakun Kozi. Okay, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so today we are actually just a few dollars away from the. Oh no, actually we already passed. But there's a stretch earlier, right?
Yes, 400.
Oh, 400. Okay, sorry. So yeah, still a lot, but we still have 2 days anyway. So, yeah, get 3 booking in all 5, then it's fine. And then in August, 297. That's actually pretty high. That's almost the same with our target in low season month, and we are starting pretty good here. But to be what do you call it? I don't know the word, but sometimes what we found is that actually we are mispricing, especially in high season, that we actually sold some dates already, but in the pricing that we haven't set this month, because we are focusing in this month. But next month it's already sold with the lower prices that we should sell. So that's some cases that we found in revenue management, but we also can use some help from reservation team or host if you found some pricing that actually like some property that already full, but why is so low? Please notify us. At least bring up the issue, because this is our chance to get the biggest booking in the next month. And then from weekly sales, I think we are okay. Weekly sales, it's looking really good. And then this week it haven't started yet, just 5,000 for today, but that's already really good actually. This is the last month, so we don't expect to get any higher than last week for the sales. And then next to the unconverted potential revenue. So this month we have a potential revenue from requests from all squad at 106,000 US dollar, and then we convert like about 45% from all the requests. So that, I think that's pretty good. It's no, actually no. Oh yeah, actually. The number is higher. The number of potential is higher last month, and then we convert we lose the same number, and then this month. I think we have less requests. I think in terms of revenue, and then we convert almost half, and that's the SLA. I think that's getting better. And also the inquiry, unconverted inquiry. This is the orange is not converted, blue is converted, but it's getting thicker in some days. But we need to be more active in converting the inquiries. And then the booking pace. I think this is all in Bakung. This is the booking pace, looking pretty good. There are some dip here. I don't know why, but in average we are at 86. And we haven't counted the SLA. Is the SLA applied for this month?
Yes, I think so. Past 25 days we agreed not to have. Past 30 days, 25 days have to be above 80.
80. Yeah. So yeah, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's not achieved yet for this month. So I also suggest for each squad have their own target for this daily booking, also to monitor that. So each squad. So every squad is basically racing. Squad 1 at almost 170, and then squad 2 passed the target already 141, and then this is squad 4 at 39,500, and then squad 3 at 19,508, and then every squad is already better than last month. And then the heat map, this okay, 52, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, 52 bookings check-ins today, so that's pretty high. And yeah, squad 1 and 2 is pretty strong. I think in the next few weeks we already secure almost like 20 at least booking check-ins per day. That's really good. Even squad 3, it's not stable, but there's 7 and 8 check-in already secure in the next weeks. And squad 4, same, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that's pretty secure actually for high season. And then inactive properties, the newest one is La Jolla and Lakaban. Surprisingly, we just got the new deal, but actually, yeah, La Jolla 1 and Lakaban. That's the newest one. Maybe the team at squad 1 can have a look at that. And then the newest one for squad 2 is Villa Fosa again. Yeah, getting into this list again. And then Pondok Cesia, we are having discussion with partnership. And then Edo, and then Ambalama, we decide to drop the partnership. But yeah, we need to remove from this list. And then squad 3. This is Joglo Rejodani, Omah Gelaga, Omah Candi, Griaku, Rumpang QQ, Gria Anggrek, Tamu Ibu, Sunrise Homestay, Happy Ayu, Rumah Teteh, Sawah Joglo. I think we need to focus on this new property that is previously actually working, but now it's back to this list. And then squad 4, Bakung Kosi, yeah, okay. Bakung Kosi is got mentioned a lot, but the property actually goes into this list, so I think we need attention. Okay. Okay, and then the guest origin. On July, still same heat. Europe and then US and then Hawaii is pretty high as well. And then East Australia, it's getting thicker, and Jakarta also. Maybe it's holiday season in Jakarta, but let's take a look at August. I think what is our crowd in August? pretty much the same.
Japan.
Oh yeah, Japan. Japan is showing up, and Philippines is cooling down. China also. This is Singapore, I think.
Yeah, Singapore.
Yeah, Malaysia. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, mostly US and Europe here. Our crowd for August, and then go to the profile revenue. Profile revenue in adventure accommodation, we got 11,000 already in July, so that's much better than June. Then this is a conversion rate. The blue one is converted, the orange one is unconverted. So conversion in this profile is pretty good, balanced. Agoda 3,000, less than last month. Arayan Bukit Vista is 3,000, less than last month as well. 3,700, and conversion rate, not too many requests in this profile. Bastian and Wayana, 31,000 from 24 last month, so that's a lot of jump, and then conversion is pretty good, above the SLA actually. So Bayu and Wayana 32,600, 92% conversion plus week. That's really good. 92% converted. Oh, okay. Booking.com 32,000, much better than last month. And then direct, no booking. Yuan Enjing 4,000, 100 from last month 3,800, and all 100% requests converted in the last month from the last month. Nice. Elements, no bookings. MLNBV 29,500, up from last month, and conversion is 68, 50%, SLA compliant. This is Emil and Wayana in July, $297. So we are reconsidering to still use this profile or not. And then Gabriel and Ara 4,800, down from last month. Very low request. Jing with 51,200, up from last month, and conversion rate 50, 66, and then 38% from the last week. And then Jing and Wayana 63 out of much better from last month, but the conversion rate is
Worse.
worse. Yeah, I think this is maybe, I don't know, like
Is
yeah,
100%
alchemist.
unconverted? Maybe?
Yes.
For a week. 18
Yeah,
requests.
17 requests.
That's right.
Yeah, last week.
It's not bad.
Okay. And then Chris and Wayana 16,900, almost twice from last month. And then conversion rate is 35, 14, and 75. Only, I think 8 requests per week. So that's okay. No. Nongki and Ara 8,000, up from last month. Conversion rate, not really, can't really tell. Tandy and BB 6,000, up from last month. 100% not converted. So this is mostly Despacito, the whole room, which we never have any availability. So we are unlisting this listing as well. Traveloka, no transaction for July. Wayana 67,000, up from 45 last month, so that's really good. And then conversion rate also, SLA compliance, so 52, 57, 61. And then that's it for the profile revenue. And then the area revenue is, let me see if I can see that. Okay. Balangan 21,000, up from 17,000 last month. Whoa, begin 85,000 from 61, so that's really good. 61,600 up. Cemagi no transaction. Jakarta is inactive. Jimbaran is up to 21,500. Nusa Dua 26,900 up from last month. Nusa Penida 39,000 up from last month. Padang 18,000, almost same with up from last month. Seminyak 5,900 up from last month. Ubud 10,000, twice from last month. Uluwatu 44,800 up from last month. Ungasan down from last month, 13,700. And then Jogja almost same, 19,500. And then that's it. And then the next one is new listing for this week. Let's see if we have any new listing. Villa Damu, I think this is new partner. So Egi, can you please help me? Is it unlisted?
No, you can see the other one. The one that.
This
Yeah,
is-
that one. Okay, so this is a newest addition to the Ubud area. So this is basically F5 pumalos within the rice paddy, so like Maldives type.
Yoga.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
wow.
Brio guys' newest property, and also most of the rooms are hot tub as well, so that's really nice. Yeah, so at this point we just launched two listing, and we'll do it the rest of it. We'll reshoot because the paddy hasn't really grown, so we need to reshoot of that.
Photoshop.
Adventures, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so this is the new listing, and hopefully we'll get any books soon after this one. Yeah.
Wow, we started this 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's all the
That's
new
really good to
listing.
see.
Pikaria is already, Songchang already, Viladamu, Labumi. That's it for the new listing. Maybe we go to the chapter KPI. Quickly. Community management. So we got 21.10% participation out from the. Actually, this is not on the SLA yet, but the apa namanya?
Satisfaction rate, participation rate.
Yeah, we want 80% participant, right?
Yeah.
But the I think we can focus on the bad one. This is from Sambu, and also the Babar. So in squad 1 from Puja, we're not working with them anymore.
Still.
Still, okay. In squad 3, Gria Asi, and then Rumah Gerjen, and then Rumah Canting Homestay, I think, yeah. And then squad 4, Sambu, the box, not the box, Babar, Sambu and Babar, and Parimanta. I think that's something that we need to focus on in the squad level. And then in content, the
Wow.
content listing score, there's no new listing this week?
Ada tidak? Biasanya di unfollowing 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, last. Okay, so most of the listing is actually passed. Instant book 100%, 80%, so that passed the SLA. Unbooked listing, the red one, there are 2 listings that are still unbooked. And then the instant book rate is still maintained above 70%, so 85, 87. And then 92 is still just today, so not really accurate. Host weekly reviews. Let's see for the past 2 weeks. So in squad 1, 94.44% reviews are positive. And then 92.75 positive in squad 2. In squad 3, 100% positive. Amazing. Okay, 95.24% positive. So in all squad, I think everyone got positive reviews. And then the review rate. This is the number of guests that we host versus the number of review that they left. So basically, the blue one is the number of guests that left the reviews. This week, there's no one actually left the review. Oh no, some already left. But yeah, I think we can make it better. I think with the tools that Ivan tried to create. Reservation, inquiry conversion rate in squad 1 is not converted 13%. Last week is 17%. And then in squad 2, 15%. Squad 2, 20%. 13% in squad 1. Also, squad 3, sorry. And then squad 4, 26%. Oh, squad 4, and then 17%. So the SLA is 25% for inquiry conversion, and I see it's really hard to convert inquiry. So I think the more partner with Instant Book would be better. Yeah, agreed, right? Market builders, TT.
Yes, well done.
In request conversion rate, in squad 1, 45, 37, 36. This is different. The SLA is 50%, but we're still below the SLA for squad 1. Then squad 2 passed the SLA in the past few weeks, 55, 56, 59. Squad 3 cannot really tell, but 100% not converted, 100% converted. We cannot really see. And squad 4 really good, actually 70%, 69, and 51%. So that's always passed. Yeah. Then new property this week, only one, Labomi, which is already producing 2,250. And this is the last 90 days graph. Basically, this, on May, there's Egi, Leon, Nengli, Pak Nungki, and Wayana producing this total revenue. But this month, I think there's only Wayana with Labomi. I think we also have Hilagamu, but it's not. Oh, it hasn't got any booking yet. Okay. So for this month, there's only Labomi that's already producing. So that's it.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mike. All right, who wants to do that next? Let's see. Next week, let's put somebody up here. Alvin, how have you done it? You did it last week already, yeah? Okay. Cynthia. Okay, we'll push Cynthia up there. Or wait, Chandra, have you done it yet? Chandra, you want to do it. You want to do it. Okay, all right, we'll discuss whether Cynthia or Chandra can do it next time. All right, thank you very much. Let's go back up to the all hands and see where we are now. What? It's July. Oh, yeah, it's still July. I was feeling August already. Okay, so pretty much the rest of it is just as before. We're still doing translations for all the newcomers onto Bukit Vista. They don't do translations in Chinese, they do active translations, so they look for bookings that have been actually done in a certain language. I will remove that actually, because that isn't exactly the way it's actually happening. But I actually removed the Language Guild too, who is doing, where's Ivan? Ivan, are you still doing Language Guild?
Yes.
When is the Language Guild, Ivan?
She'll be tomorrow.
Yay, what time?
11.
11 o'clock. Go to the polyglot, Ivan, and he will fill you in on how. Wait, Ivan, the polyglot. Okay, all right. A polyglot means you're speak many languages. Doesn't mean you can. Okay, something else. Sounds okay. Digital marketing Thursday. Okay, most of the guilds are coming back right now because we do have actually some spare bandwidth. Digital marketing is back at Thursdays at 4 o'clock. Human resource is back at Saturdays at 1. Copywriting is back. Oh, we missed the last copywriting one. Gunny, did you do the last copywriting one? Gunny, you're muted. No. I'll put you on the spot. Gunny, host the next copywriting one. Copywriting is actually a pretty interesting thing. We're seeing, I think, an iterative evolution out of the copywriting rut. So keep that going on, yeah? Thank you. Reservations, Wednesday at 1. We're caging and finding new animals. Help us find new zoo animals to put in the zoo. Leadership, I never actually announced this, but I do it on Thursdays 2 to 3. And then community management. Community management is about time we bring it back. I think we should bring community management back. We are in need of having good community management. Rafik, this is at Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Does this still work for you, Rafik? Yes. That's Rafik saying yes, right? Okay, great. Does it work for you, then Lee?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let's get community management back in. Finance. Finance is Tuesdays at 4. Marketplace sync-up is today at 5. And sports happens at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., depending upon what the mood of the day is. Revenue management's back on Wednesdays at 4. Hospitality is Thursdays at 11 Georgia time, 12 Bali time. Shh. Project Guild. Wait, Tendi, did you start this? Where's Tendi? Tendi.
Next shift.
Nice shift. Tendi started a Project Guild. Okay, I'm interested
Yeah,
in
there's
this.
a paper for
Really? Okay. Project is its own guild now. Okay. Interesting. What does he got going on? All right. So Tendy's got a project guild. He's doing self check-ins. He's simplifying phone calls. Okay. Fantastic. Very good. Nice to see that. All right. There's a project guild. So it's like a science project thing. All right. The hospitality conference is on Fridays at 4 p.m. Diva and Baye are working on that. I've withdrawn myself temporarily because my bandwidth is pretty limited. But they already have a landing page up and they're inviting folks to take a look at it. And we're going to host a hospitality conference. We still have our Skillshare subscription. Please, this is a year of the end test, end of the year test. Everyone should be able to draw like that. If you can't, then you can't host. All right. Anyhow, let's go into my OKRs and see how we're doing. Okay. So, my July OKRs is to improve the inquiry to conversion rate of the company, identify inquiry conversion loss, develop rehab programs, and SLA compliance. Ooh, okay, I don't know about that. But, okay, focusing on the top 20 revenue producing properties, Squad 1, Squad 2. We already hit our mark. Yeah, so that part's good. Our targets, I think, for Squad 1 are way too high. So we probably, okay, this is important. Even if you do succeed, still wonder what you succeeded on if the assumptions were correct. Let me go back to this point. Our assumptions for Squad 1 were not really correct and not really practical. We of course, hit the revenue target at around 180, but we had predicted we'd be at 240. Squad 2 hit their target, and they were far closer to what that target was going to be. Squad 4, I'm not sure if that actually happened at 70. But basically what we had done was we overestimated from every squad what the targets were. If you add that all up, it actually goes to 130%. But I guess that's one way to do it. But in the future, I think this gives us a little bit more clearance on what we can actually expect to achieve. So yes, key result met, I think in this particular case, are not really met. Mission achieved, but key result not met. That's somewhat different. Let me go back to this point here because I think this is pretty important. This is going back to what we discussed earlier about the unconverted potential revenue. That part of the picture really has not been fixed. All right. So as you can see, if we have the same problem as we had last month, we have almost the same amount of unconverted revenue sitting in that box. Now we've actually discovered a few reasons why this happens, and part of it is not related to reservations at all. Part of it is related to just essentially having fluency and stuff with the owner that makes it better. Part of it is also maybe not having too many listings around that are just sitting around taking requests that don't need to be there. So I think on a content side, on a market building side, and on a host and reservation side, we can actually fix this. Part of the fixes are actually the things we can do. Part of it is just like setting the correct expectations. If we put out 50 listings for a place that only has 4 rooms, then of course we're going to get a lot of requests that we can't actually convert. So those things are there. This problem I don't think is actually solved yet, but at least there's clarity into it. And yes, we were kind of lucky we got to our revenue targets, but this part I think can be fixed still too. All right, let's move to the very last thing. Okay, employee feedback is all there. No changes since the last time we did the employee feedback survey. And that is pretty much it. Some of you are applying for promotions this week, so if you haven't gotten that done, please submit those up. I've got some bandwidth to actually process promotions this week, so please step up if you want to get your promotion review done. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything else. Is there any nominations for a core value? Nope.
There is.
Yes, sir. All right. Aggie.
Be on the paper already.
On the paper. From Beggy. Oh, okay. Person recognized by Gigi. Person recognized is Gigi and Risky, Be the Hero, nominated by Wyana. Gigi and Risky are the best. Beggy was very angry, asking about 100% payment for cancellation of Alchemist. Gigi and Risky helped me solve it. Thank you so much for your help, as always, and do the best. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. All right. Oh yeah, farewell parties, and I think my birthday party too as well. So we'll probably have it either on Saturday or Sunday this week.
Happy birthday.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Well, I'm planning to have a party on this Saturday for Chris, for Gigi, and also for my birthday and the revenue achievement. We'll just roll it all into one big celebration. And it's probably going to take the form of a bonfire at Balawan Beach, yeah? So, unless we do something else. But that's the form of it. It will be held on this Saturday. Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, then good luck, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you. Well, I don't know. What should I say? Can anyone give me a good conclusion line? Like, God bless Bukit Vista.
May the force be with you.
May the force.
Can I ask the question?
Yes, sir.
So what's happening with Kura Kura?
Oh yeah, Kura we're not partnering with anymore, right? So Antoine has actually asked us to stop partnering with them. And so Kura is off the books now. So the deadline is August 1st, and we will unwind that at Kura. Yes, sir.
But he already remarked all of our confirmed guests. Did he already have all of our confirmed guests in his book or in his whatever calendar?
Antoine wrote to me and he said this morning that he's taking 2 more guests, right? So I'm not sure if those are all the guests or just the ones that we have coming up in August.
Let's check.
Okay, yeah, we need to check that.
Let's check it out.
Okay. Okay. Anything? Yes.
Is there any specific reason that we can learn from, sir?
I think Antoine was already on his way out for a long time, right? So there is something happening in Bingen of essentially Jills and Pim that are essentially spreading some rumors about us, and we haven't found the way to directly address that yet. Jills is a little bit walking away, hard to reach, but yeah, Bingen needs to have better community management. To step back. What's that?
Taken over by Pim.
I'm not sure who's taking it over. It could be taken over by Jills too as well, because Jills has his own Airbnb. Yeah.
But I guess this is why community management is so important. Market building can spend hours building an estate up, right? But if there's no community management, everybody's time essentially goes to waste. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other new business that we need to talk about? Okay. Yes, Chris.
I heard now we have an allocation for Alchemist.
No. Yeah, we just have the beginning of a discussion about that.
Oh.
Yeah, and we need to even have a discussion whether to have that discussion because of recent issues with, let's say, the owner's temper, Alchemist. So I don't think that actually gives us a lot of faith in how things will be done without having more strict contracting, I think. Okay. Good questions. Any other questions at the moment? Nope. This is actually good. All hands is really supposed to be about getting good questions out, and getting feedback out. So this is part of that. Okay, right. Rihanna Reese will be the hero. Lana be the hero. Okay. All right. So cool. Any other core value recognitions? Nope. All right. So may the force be with you. Have a happy week, and good luck, everyone. All right. See you all. See you guys in Georgia. Chongru, the goo goo goo.